Hey, what's up? Sorry I haven't posted in a bit. I finally got a break today. I went to a place with no reception, so I couldn't open up my software. Hold on a second. Oh man, I gotta... Alright, that fixes my problem. Anyway, I gotta put my mic on, so I don't wanna make y'all eardrums bleed. Give me a sec. Alright, it's on. We're good. All is well. So what's up, everybody? You know, as you can tell, we're gonna be doing a Bendy and the Ink Machine video today. What if Deku was Bendy, had ink blood? Now, what ink blood means is basically his blood is ink, okay? But he looks like a normal human being, and the blood, his ink acts like blood. Yeah, so... Now, I know what you're thinking, but why is the screenshot Bendy? Well, here's the thing. Izuku, has the ability to force his ink or his blood out of his body. But the problem is he can only make so much come out, or, he'll pass out from blood loss. It regenerates... Okay, I'm going to explain his quirk, and then we're going to get into the actual video. So the way his quirk works is he, how Koda can do the, psst with water? Basically, that's what he can do, but with ink. And if you want, if he draws something, or he just knows what he wants to create, he can make ink come out of his hands and then form into a puddle. And, if he can use it as a trap, or, he can make weapons out of ink and a bunch of other stuff. So think of it like a mix between Momo and Koda's... Kota? Is it Kota or Koda? I don't know. Kota. I think it's Kota. The kid with the horns for a hat. Yeah, that kid. Anyway, if it's like his quirk mixed with Momo's, except for it can create, semi-living things, because Bendy, yes, Bendy is going to be able to be made out of the ink. Because in this world, he made Bendy because magic and plot. And don't you say my name, I'm making a video. I'm making a video, now leave! Leave! No shoot! I says I shoot! Sorry, I had to kick someone out of my room. Oh, y'all be like, what is going on? Anyway, if you didn't hear me, I'm just gonna quickly repeat it because normally the video will cut out really early on and then y'all probably don't understand what's going on. Anyway, so Izuku's quirk basically makes it to where he can create anything out of ink, and the ink is his blood. And his blood regenerates extremely quickly. Because if you didn't know, if you get your blood drawn, you're like, okay, so now I am, some people, I'm not gonna lie, me when I was little, are gonna be like, well, do I just not have that much blood anymore? No. Okay? Oh man, I was dumb as a kid. Not even gonna lie. I mean, pretty much everyone is dumb as a kid, but you know what I mean. Again, I'm sorry. I went to go to Arkansas to visit family for personal reasons that I'm not gonna get into unless you want a video talking about that. It's probably not gonna be as long as some of my videos. I'm sorry I talk so fast. Like, I don't know why y'all don't. Ugh. Okay, I'm sorry that I constantly get off track and I talk really fast. I just want to, I get a good idea, and I'm like, okay, I want to get it done. I want to get it out there, so, it's not over. Anyway, this isn't the 100 sub special. Part 4. This could be the 100 sub special. You know what? I'll do 2 100 sub specials. Maybe 3. I don't know. Yeah, 3 100 sub specials. That's not confusing. Anyway, so this is going to be one of them. There's going to be 2 more, which is what if Deku went to the Upcoming Kill World. I think part 4, maybe 5, give or take. I don't know. Anyway. And part 2 to what if Deku was the pilot of Bartos, because I need to do that. A very few amount of people have been requesting that one, and I actually like to do it. I like doing almost all my what ifs. Well, all of my what ifs. I enjoy doing. Also, no one has asked for part 2 to what if Deku was the Ghost Rider. But that one was pretty cool. Anyway. Oh, sorry, got distracted. I was Yeah, I was fixing my hoodie. Anyway. So, oh yeah, I gotta do something. Okay, anyway. So when Izuku, was, I think, yeah. When he was born, his skin was, I'm gonna say it, a very dark color. And it's because of his blood, okay? His blood was pitch black. So that's why his skin color was almost pitch black, Everybody was super confused, and, Sashi was like, okay, Inko, what's going on? And she's like, I don't know. And he's like, okay then, why is his skin pitch black, like the void? Why does the skin look like ink? The doctors checked into it, and he does have a quirk, and they're like, maybe it's his quirk, maybe his quirk is ink. Sashi's like, oh, yeah, forgot to mention, his ink can not only regenerate quick, the ink in his blood, his blood can regenerate not only because his I can't speak today. Brace for loud noises. Never mind, it's not as loud as I thought it was. Anyway, so I'm gonna specify something. Izuku can regenerate. If you cut his head off, it'll get reattached. And if Bakugo blows up his arm, his arm will regrow because of ink. So essentially, he has 3 different quirks wrapped up into one quirk. That looks cool. But yes, there is a limitation. If he uses too much, he can pass out, but, the regen is really quick, so small chance of that happening. Anyway, going back, they're like, okay, well, his quirk is da-da-da-da-da, and they're like, oh, okay, so let me get this back out of my room. Ugh, that's weird. Anyway, they're like, okay, well, how are we gonna figure out, they're like, okay, so is he gonna know how to use it? And they're like, yeah. Everyone, when he turns around 4, he should be able to figure out how to use it. Time skip, he was homeschooled because, his skin, it began to lighten. No, his skin was completely, like, paper white. Okay, gonna change that. And they're like, okay, why is this? You could see, like, black veins. And, when he starts getting angry, that's what's gonna happen. His skin's gonna start turning white, like really, really white, like paper white. And then, like, black veins will start showing up. And, he's like this, his blood quite literally starts to boil. So, yeah, black steam's gonna come off of him. Because if you didn't know, if your blood boils, you're gonna get red steam. That's why Might Guy, had a red steam when he went 8th gate. Anyway. Huh. What now? Okay. Let's go. When Izuku was, like, 5, his skin color finally changed, went to a normal skin color. So he looks like what he would look like in canon. But if he gets angry, his hair turns black. And his eyes reverse in color. Basically, the white part of his eyes go black, green part goes white, black part goes, white. Think of the Byakugan, but instead of it, your eye completely being white, it's like the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan in that way. I don't know how Naruto got brought into this. Oh yeah, it's probably because I was watching a few Naruto videos. Oh, I need to do a Naruto video. Anyway. No, for another day. Anyway. So, when Izuku had, first gone to school, he was like, he's super shy, but he's really good at drawing. Like, you want a self-portrait? Boom! Self-portrait. He makes you, it's like beyond accurate. And that's part of his quirk. So if he sees someone's face, just for like a split second, like, you know how it takes your brain a few seconds to register some things about, before, never mind. Never mind. I need to stop getting off topic. Anyway, all it takes is like for him to see someone's face for like 2.5 seconds. Not 2.5, like half a second. And he automatically has their face down in his databank. His brain. He knows what they look like and who they are. He doesn't know who they are. He just knows what they look like. Anyway. Also, I'm going to change a few other things, but that's for a little bit later. Anyway, so Izuku, at the age of 3, found out how to use his quirk. So he was creating little ink puppy dogs, and it was adorable. Like, that would be so cute. Like, puppy dogs made it like a husky that looks like, it looks like a normal husky, but it's made out of ink, so if it dies, it can't really die. If it gets ran over, it'll just turn into a puddle and then hop back up like, right? Like, that's adorable. It's adorable. Oh, I love dogs. I love dogs. You can't tell me that dogs are not the cutest thing. If you don't like dogs, get out of my channel. Leave. Goodbye. I'm being serious. Like, go. But if you're allergic to dogs, it's cool. It's understandable. If you're allergic to dogs, it's okay, but if you don't like them for no reason, like, bro, like, if you have a reason not to like them, it's understandable. Just like the same for chocolate chip cookies, which I think oh, wait, yeah. If you're allergic to milk, you can't have chocolate chip cookies. Crap! I feel bad for anyone who can't have chocolate chip. Like, chocolate chip cookies are so good. Oh, wait, crap, I got off track again. Ugh, this is a nightmare. Anyway. So, yeah. Anyway, so once Izuku was about... When Izuku was about, when he was, it's been a few years, Bakugo thinks his quirk is stupid, like, okay, what's so good about drawing someone's face, and Izuku's like, that's not the only thing I can do. He's like, oh, really? You really think you're stronger than me? Useless deku! He throws an explosion, and Izuku, he's like, help! In his mind, he's like, help! And then, freaking, okay, I'm gonna say he liked a card, no, not Bendy. Yeah, he thought, of a cool older brother that looks really, really cool. So, in that way, he got Bendy, a cool brother. That's how he got Bendy. And a very protective brother. Bigger Bendy. And then, like, if you hurt my brother, I'm going to rip you in half. Beast Bendy! Oh, man. I am a monster. Somebody stop me. Please, I need to be stopped. Anyway. So, once Izuku was done, how do I always say that? Bendy had, I'm gonna say Izuku's sleeves were rolled up because he was drawing and he likes having his sleeves up. So when Izuku blocked with his hand, his arms, I'm gonna say, like, like, when he went to put his hands up to protect his face, ink sprayed out of his hands, and Bendy, while it was spraying, was forming, and he brought back his fist and punched Bakugo. Kid Bakugo just got punched. Izuku's like, oh, my head. He stopped spraying the ink, and he's like, ugh, my head. He was dizzy. Because he's never used that much blood to, his ink to create, a creature that big. Because Big Bendy. Yeah. Anyway. So, Bendy was like, shh, it's okay. He picked him up and started carrying him around, rocked him to sleep. Izuku's knocked out. Everybody's like, who are you? You know, the teacher's walking in like, who are you, villain? And he's like, shut up, I'm Izuku's brother. Can it? You know, and they're like, Izuku doesn't have a brother. He's like, I'm the one he created in his head and made out of ink. If you couldn't tell, you know, he lets his arm, you know, I'm gonna say they can control whether or not they are like puddle or big, you know, normal form or hardened. Oh yeah, hardening is another thing Izuku can do. Like, he hardens his blood because he has full control over his blood. You know, he can harden his blood to like stronger than Kirishima levels, like Kirishima Unbreakable Day 1. Anyway, you know, Bendy lets his arm go puddle, and they're like, okay, so you're made of, oh, so Izuku created you, and he's like, ding ding ding, you know, he let his arm regenerate. He sucked back up the puddle he made, and was like, ding ding ding. Anyway, I just put him to sleep, so I swear, if any of you wake them up, you know. Oh, also, the creations can expand themselves, because Izuku may have full control over them, but they have some sentience, and they can reproduce their own ink. You know, they can, like, it takes a little bit, but they can exponentially grow. So, like, normal Bendy, after, like, 2 minutes, could go to, like 5 times Beast Bendy's size. Like, big boy. A big boy. Anyway, I don't know why I went country on y'all. Don't mind my accent. I don't know. Honestly, I just do whatever I just think is funny. I can do an Alistair impression. I'm not gonna do it, though. I really can, though. If you want, I can do it. Ooh, what if Deku was Alistair? Ooh, that's a good... Nah, I'll do it later. Once we know Alistair's full scope of abilities. Honestly, I don't know. Anyway. So, Izuku... You know, he was sleeping so soundly. You know, he was looking adorable. Bendy was like, oh, he's so cute. So time skip. You know, it's been a few years. Izuku now can, you know, also Bendy can go in and out of his, you know, body on his own. So anyone knows, you screw with Izuku, you screw in with the big demon dog thing. I don't even know what Bendy is. I know he's a demon, but still, it's weird. Yeah. You know, they know you screw with Izuku, you're screwing with a demon thing that only he can control, and will literally hunt you down to the ends of the earth to make sure you can never hurt his brother again. So yeah, everyone knows not to screw with Izuku. Except for Bakugo, who's a freaking idiot, who always screws with Izuku, and I know what you're thinking. But dude, why do you always make Bakugo, like, a hated guy? Because I don't like Bakugo. I never liked Bakugo. He's a jerk. He's the exact type of person I hate. Selfish and always super angry. Well, he's selfish, arrogant, and annoying. So, he's the type of person I really hate. Anyway. Ooh, that's a good one too. Never mind. I keep thinking of what ifs. Don't mind me. Pay me no mind. Anyway. So, when Izuku was, you know, it was the last day of high school, you know, Bakugo was like, so, which one of you idiots is planning on going on to UA? You know, Izuku, because of Bendy, you know, Bendy had a little bit of influence on Izuku, so Izuku can stand up for himself. And when Izuku gets mad, you know, Black Steam, no, not really Black, you know, that's only if he gets really mad, but, you know, he's getting angry. So, Izuku started going pale, and, like, black veins started to appear. You know, everyone's looking at Izuku, and he's like, say that again, Katsuki. You know. Izuku was finally fed up with his crap. Bakugo's Bakugo. He's like, what'd you say, Deku? You know, he tries to blow up Izuku. Izuku hardens his right arm to block the explosion. And then, you know, with his left arm, as he's deflecting, punches him in the gut. Which makes Bakugo throw up. You know, Izuku moved his arm out of the way before, you know, he got thrown up on. And he's like, huh, and you call me weak. Tensions boiled over that day. We're just not gonna question it, are we? You know. Anyway, so Bendy popped out of Izuku's hoodie, because Izuku was wearing a hoodie that day, and did the face. It was hilarious. If you were there, you would have laughed or chuckled. Anyway, the teacher saw what happened. So technically, Izuku didn't start the fight. That was Bakugo. And Bakugo was the first one to throw hands. So it's Bakugo. Bakugo's the one that got in trouble. I know that's how that works because I've been in a fight before. Well, I've seen a fight before and I know how it turned out. Anyway. I need to wash this. I need to clean it. I don't know how. Oh no. Well. Anyway. So, Izuku was walking home, the sludge villain attack. Bendy. Anyway, Bendy, Big Bendy started, to appear out of Izuku's back. And I'm going to say, Bendy. I'm going to scratch something out. Bendy isn't in Izuku's blood, okay? He's always around Izuku. Except for when he takes a shower. That'd be weird. Anyway. So, basically, think of Bendy as a second layer of skin. Like, first you'd have to go through Izuku's hardening, then Bendy, who can also harden. Also, his hardening is stronger than Izuku's. So, basically, it's normal Kirishima, unbreakable, unbreakable, and then you have Izuku's normal skin, which is pretty much impenetrable. So Bendy, so it doesn't strain Izuku to, so when Bendy appears, it doesn't put any strain on Izuku because Bendy's always, out. Anyway, so, Bendy grabs the sludge villain, and I'm going to say they're pretty much the exact same size, and starts tussling, and Izuku's like, I'm tired. He's like, alright, I need to finish you off. So Izuku cracks his knuckles, and one of his fingers starts releasing ink that, when it hits the floor, immediately goes straight towards the sludge villain. And when it touches the sludge villain, it expands, wrapping the sludge villain and like compressing him into like a tiny, orb, like a handheld one that Izuku could throw around. And after it did that, it instantly healed. Because Izuku can control his healing factor. And technically, if he was to, croak, it wouldn't matter because his healing factor kicks in, automatically restarts the brain, and then, he can decide whether or not he wants to heal. Because his plot. Anyway. So, Izuku had finally, gotten up, and then proceeded, when All Might jumped up and said, I am here, Bendy, stretched over, handed him the ball and said, there's your villain, in his cartoonish voice, and Izuku's like, oh man, Bendy says, here's your villain all rolled up, or however Bendy sounds. I don't know how Bendy sounds. Izuku laughs a little because, he found it funny. And he's like, is this your quirk? And he's like, technically yes, but I can't control him. He just does what he wants. He's cool though. I made him to protect me. And he's like, you have a very powerful quirk. And he's like, thanks. All of them. All Might's like, okay, well, are you going to UA? And he's like, yeah. And, All Might's like, oh, cool, I'll be teaching there this year. And he's like, oh, cool. If you want Izuku to get One For All, which would be absolutely broken because One For All enhances one's quirk, that would enhance his healing factor, which means more blood or ink. So if you want him to do that, if you want me to do that, just comment, okay? Comment it down below. If you can tell, I have a lot of stored up energy. I was excited to make this video. So, time skip, U entrance exam. Basically, it goes to canon, except for the fact that Izuku got more attack points because of him and Bendy working together. You know, they question who Bendy was. All Might's like, oh, that's a part of his quirk, but technically a different being in general. It just does what it wants. But, you know, its main objective is to protect Midoriya, and if it disobeys, it turns into a puddle. Which basically, yeah. Anyway, Izuku, he created more creatures. Like, he created, like, wolves, I guess. Yeah, wolves. And it started running around, black ink wolves with red eyes, because why not? Red eyes are cool, and they look scary. And they run around, they're tearing robots apart, and they're saving people, because he knows about hero points, because he guessed. So when the big 0 pointer shows up, he's like, kill me. And he's like, can't do that, boss. Bendy's like, I can't do that, boss, but I can help you take that thing out. He's like, nah, I got an idea. You save the girl. Bendy fully detaches from Izuku's like, okay, boss. He runs over, he turns into a puddle. Puddle form. Oh, zooms on over there and is like, okay, well, I'm going to help you. He picks up the rock and then picks up Uraraka, and runs back to Midoriya, and he's like, okay, do what you told me to. He's like, cool. Hey, how much blood can I be able to expel before my healing factor goes, crazy? Before my healing factor How much blood would I be able to expel? How long would it take my healing factor to activate after I start expelling blood? He says about a second. He's like, cool. He starts releasing a little bit about blood. And his healing factor kicks in. He's like, all right. So now, but it takes like a second for it to trigger on its own. Izuku doesn't know how to control it yet. So he's like, all right, now, full power. He releases a lot more blood, and because he released a little bit, the healing factor is activated. So he's able to regenerate blood as fast as he's able to, his ink to, he's as fast, his ink is released as fast as he's able to make it. As fast as healing factor is able to regenerate it. So he's making more and more, and no one notices there's a giant ink puddle a bunch of people notice that there's a giant ink puddle in front of the 0 pointer. Izuku's like, well, what am I going to do with this? He wasn't thinking this far ahead. He didn't know if he'd survived making this much blood. He's like, well, Izuku, while still pumping out more, not blood, ink, while he's still pumping out more ink, he steps into the puddle and he's like, okay. Giant monster! Kaiju! He's like, kaiju! And he's like, basically, an ink kaiju that, I'm trying to think, what should it look like? It has long arms, so it kind of looks like an ape, but it's hairless, and it's thick, it's thin. It looks like a human, but, it's a giant monster. It has, like, a white mask, and, the mask itself is, like, completely shut. There's no mouth or anything. Its eyes are blue. Its eyes glow blue, It has claws, doesn't have a tail, no wings. It has, feet and everything. So basically, giant monster. Anyway, it started to rise with Izuku on its, like, head, I guess? No. The ink wrapped around Izuku's waist to make sure he didn't fall off. And then it started to create the monster. Right as the 0 pointer was going to punch Izuku, the Kaiju's arm jumped out and grabbed it, and then it started to grow. And it was the same size as the 0 pointer. It's like, could use more ink. And the thing is thin at this very moment, okay? It's not buff. It's not like, whoa, I'm a destroyer buff. No, it's not like that. It's it's relatively thin. So Izuku touches the kaiju, ink pylons, I guess you'd say, wrap around Izuku's hands. And, his healing factor is still trying to regenerate the little bit of blood he had expelled. And he starts pumping out more blood. The thing starts getting buff. Its muscles are starting to swell, which in this case means he's getting ripped. Anyway, so yeah, it's chiseled. Anyway, it proceeds to rip off the 0-pointer's arm and bash it in the head with it, and proceed to rip the 0-pointer to pieces. While while it was ripping it to pieces, it shattered its mask and started breathing black fire, because why not? Under the 0-pointer, he's like, didn't know I could do that. At the moment, its priority is destroy the 0-pointer and then disappear. So the ink creature, after completely destroying the 0-pointer, then proceeds to shrink, and shrink, and shrink, and then disappear, until Izuku's nice on the ground and fully regenerated. I was like, alright, come on, Bendy. Bendy jumps at Izuku, and, he's like in a dagger form, to where it's, how dolphins jump out of the water? Basically, it's like, yeah, like that. Or like a scythe arc, where it's like flat, and then it slowly goes into like a tip, where it looks like it'll, kill Izuku. And the moment it touches Izuku, it just wraps around him, and he's like, oh yeah, that feels better. Also, Bendy may be a second layer of skin, but it's like nothing to Izuku. He doesn't feel that Bendy's around him. He just knows he is. Anyway, Izuku starts walking back to the thing after, picking up Uraraka, because, she's kind of asleep, she's not asleep, she's like, my leg hurts, and he's like, okay, he can't heal other people, unfortunately. He might be able to do that later if you want. I already know the ship for this, so don't you worry. He picks up Uraraka, puts him on his shoulders, not his shoulders, like piggyback, and then walks her over to a recovery girl, and he's like, okay, you heal this one, I'm going home. So the villain saw this, right? Now I know what you're thinking. So his ship is going to be a villain. Yes. Now it's not Shigaraki, or Dabi, or Toga. Well, female Shigaraki and female Dabi. Okay. All the League of Villain members are female, except for All-For. All-For One's female, too. Because, why not? Why not? So, okay. So, on the norm in this world, I should have said this at the beginning. It's whatever. Anyway, on the norm in this world, normally only girls have quirks. There's a rare exception where a guy can have a quirk. So, All Might's a guy, Izuku's a guy, a few other people are guys. Kirishima's a guy. No, Kirishima's a girl, because Kirishima. Girl Kirishima. Don't question me. Do not question the words of the mighty Jimmy. That's not my name, by the way. I just saw the meme online and I found it funny, so I decided to do it. Anyway. Annie hoozy boozy. I'm bored, so I'm just gonna continue. So, Izuku, after, while he was walking home, gets ported, teleported. You didn't get deported, you got teleported into the League of Villains hideout. And they're like, do you want to join our league? Shigaraki's like, do you want to join our league? While scratching his neck. And, Izuku's like, first, I don't know who you are. Second, what do you mean by league? And third, go get some freaking lotion. Go get some chapstick at the least, Lauren. Like, dang. I didn't know somebody could let themselves go that bad. Dabi chuckles, Toga chuckles, female Kurogiri chuckles, because Kurogiri's a female in this, anyway. All-For One is a girl, by the way, and her face isn't nearly as messed up. All Might's still technically one. It's just, All-For One isn't as messed up. You know, her face still looks good. So does her hair. So, you know, she's injured, but, you know, she's okay. She's technically okay. Anyway, so they all introduce themselves, and he's like, "Cool, I'm Izuku. Now, if you excuse me, I'm trying to get home. So can you tell me where the heck you brought me?" And you know, they're like, you know, Dabi, who does well, her arms are like the dead purple skin. You know, her face, nah. No, she has it like on her chin, but like her lips are, you know. Oh, this is hard to describe. Anyway, so Izuku is like, okay, so A, why am I here? B, what do you want from me? And C, why is handjob over there freaking so chap? Like, she needs to go jump in an ocean of lotion. Ocean of lotion. That was an accident, but I'm keeping that in the video. That's a good one. I like that. Anyway, ocean of lotion. That's good. I like that. Okay. And needs to bathe in chapstick. You know, Shigaraki's like, oh, someone's so mean. You know, she's like, I want to keep him. You know, All For One's like, what? You know, All For One's like, what? You know, she's like, I want to keep him. You know, and he's like, and I don't want to stay. You know? You know, and Bendy's like, well, boss, do you really have a choice? The one on the screen has the ability, the purple one has the ability to teleport. The one on the screen probably is stronger than you, and the other three you could probably take out in like 2 minutes. Not 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes, like 30 seconds if you let me. And he's like, Bendy, shut up. You know, Bendy had popped out by this point. You know, they're like, ooh, your quirk is stronger than we thought. You know, Toga's like, I want his blood. And he's like, I think drinking ink would be bad for you. And she's like, what do you mean ink? My blood is ink. You know, Bendy retracts and he lets some blood drip from his hand. Or ink. I keep saying blood when it's ink, but it's blood and ink. His blood is ink. So when I say blood, I mean ink. So you know what I mean. I keep correcting myself. I keep getting off track too. Anyway. You know, and then like a husky, you know, appears and they're like, oh, puppy. You know, all of them are like, oh, puppy. You know, Kurogiri's like, you know, she's like, didn't say that. You didn't hear me. And All For One's like, neither did I. You heard nothing. If you say something, I will destroy you. I'll take your quirk. Which she can't, because it's his blood. And if she takes his quirk, her blood will turn into ink, which would kill her. Ooh, that's a good idea for one. I'll have to do it later. Anyway. Sorry, I was remembering a song. Anyway. So, he's gonna have a harem of female villains. Oh, also, Magni and Spinner. Oh god. Magni and Spinner aren't there. Neither is Moonfish. Neither is that weird high school kid. I don't even know his name. But, Muscular is there. Female Muscular. You know, and she's like, oh, puppy. You know, he's like, I did not expect that out of someone so big. You know, she's as tall as All Might, so, you know, all of the LOV are female. Izuku's like, okay, I'm not going to join you. And you all know the only one who could probably beat me is the guy on the screen. So, the girl on the screen. So, either you let me go, or I just wipe you all out before he arrives. She arrives. I always do this. This is why I don't normally do female, you know, reverse gender. That's why I normally don't do, you know, opposite genders. Because it just throws me off my game. Oh. I'm sorry, I got distracted. What was I talking about? I don't remember. Sorry, I had to burp, and I don't want y'all to hear it. I do remember what I was talking about, though, so continuing forward. So, when Izuku was like, okay, how about this? I won't tell anyone you brought me here. You don't tell anyone I'm a part of your league, and we'll help each other out. I'm not going to be a spy. No. I'm also not going to work with you. Although, I won't kill you, you won't kill me. We're good. Cool? And like, you know, Shigaraki, all for one, is like, I can accept these terms. Although, are you sure you don't want any more powerful quirks? He's like, come on, did you not watch the freaking videos? Like, did you not see the entrance exam? My quirk is probably one of the strongest. I literally made a kaiju. Heck, I could probably make another one. I can make 100 if I wanted to. I am a literal one-man army. Because my blood regenerates faster than I can use it. If I used a drop of blood right now, by the time it left my finger, I'd probably have it back. Before it even left my finger, I'd probably have that exact amount of blood back in my body. I can literally, he puts his hands together and slowly pulls them away, creating, like a spider web, and he's like, I can literally do anything with this stuff. And you are telling me there's a stronger quirk. Are you high? Oh man. Anyway, continuing forward. So once Izuku was anyway, once they agreed that, Izuku technically was a member, but Izuku wouldn't rat them out. He's not, okay. Technically he's going to be a hero and a villain. Well, not really. Screw it. He's a villain. Yeah, I was planning on making him a hero, but then again, I wouldn't be able to make the ship work that way. So, screw it. He's a villain. Izuku's mom is dead. Hisashi is overseas. So, when Izuku's like, screw it. The only reason I wanted to become a hero is because, All Might, but, Izuku, okay, I'm gonna say he met All Might early on when he didn't know how to control his quirk, and he says, he asked All Might, can I be a hero with a quirk I can't control? And All Might's like, no. He's, no one was around when he said this, like, no, you can't, sorry, kid. So, Izuku's always hated All Might, but, he kind of wanted to be a hero, just to, give him the big old middle finger, saying, no, I can do what I want. He's like, well, this would be a bigger middle finger. Now, everyone's like, tell you what, you join our group, and you can get back at All Might. But I get first dibs in kicking his butt. He's like, you got yourself a deal, lady. Gotta write that down. Yeah. Anyway. So, Izuku was, happy that, he actually gets friends, because he's never had, he never had friends, even though he's good at drawing people. Also, all of the heroes stay their gender, but, like I said, villains, different genders. Shoto's a girl. Todoroki's a girl. Yep. Shota Todoroki. Yep. I'm a genius. I'm about to do something. I'm gonna do something in part 2. I need to post this part first. You know, you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. Trust me. Shh. Trust me. Trust me. Anyway, so yeah, this is gonna be good. Anyway, yeah, screw it. That's gonna be all for this part, guys. If you want to